And away they go. Eight sleds in all. Good hole shot by the Skidoo heading up the Ziegler section there around the CBS Sports Corner. This is our transition 8 to 10. Heat number 1 of 3 on round number 2. Piloting that Skidoo down through into the Ram truck section. That is the 863. That's Lincoln Meyer on that Skidoo. Rounding the FXR corner, coming down for the white flag already. Right behind him is Owen Eide on that 251 Arctic Cat. Good race going there. The 106, Riley Johnson third. Now we're getting little space, but Owen Eide putting the pressure on as we're going to head up the Ziegler Hill now. Towards the Dennis Kirk CBS Sports Corner. As you can see on your screen, almost side by side here for first as we're on our last lap. There they are, side by side. Owen Eide now applying the pressure and makes the pass. Just like that. Heading down to the Ram trucks section there, the rhythm section into that Fox Shock corner. And away they go. Looking for that checkered flag. Can he hang on? Checkered flag is out. It will go to the number 251, Owen Eide, the number 863, Lincoln Meyer on that Skidoo. Third place is the 106, Riley Johnson. And away they go. Good hole shot by the Skidoo heading into the Skidoo corner. Can he hang on to it as they round the corner, heading up the Ziegler Cat rhythm section? See how they do going into the CBS Sports Corner. Dennis Kirk. Remember, 2-lap race. It's important to try to get out there right away. Hard to make up time on a 2-lap race. And it looks like it is that Skidoo out front right now, and that's Jimmy Stanich out of Eveleth, Minnesota, up on the old Iron Range. Working his way through the Polaris section now, rounding the FXR corner. Coming down to see the white flag. And it is Jimmy Stanich. And the 261 right behind him of Zach Miller. Jimmy now taking it around the Skidoo corner, heading on the the Ziegler Cat uphill rhythm section, heading up towards that CBS Sports Corner. Kind of sad this year that we just don't have enough natural snow on our trails at home. I know I'm from the Brainerd Lakes area, and we just can't get out and groom like we want to because we just don't have the snow, and the doggone swamps are not strong enough yet to sport. We've been out, drilled some test holes, and at one point we'd get a whole bunch of ice. Next time it'd only be 4 inches. Checkered flag is out, coming around the FXR corner. It will be the 517, Jimmy Stanich on that Skidoo. Coming home in second place in that Arctic Cat, that's 261 of Zach Miller. Chase Willie on that number 8 Polaris, Cadott, Wisconsin. Paulette, Vermont brings us Sammy Sheldon on the 111 Arctic Cat. Tyson Kielman on the 430 Arctic Cat out of Western Wisconsin. And Watertown, Wisconsin, Memphis Beeson on the 929 Cat, Easton Gessel on the 100 Skidoo from Big Lake, and Hugo, Minnesota, Jackson Holcomb on the 407 Players. As the group has worked their way into the CBS Sports Corner, now into the U.S. Air Force straightaway. I mean the corner down there, coming into the Ram Trucks rhythm section. It is the 100X Arctic Cat of Gavin Brault so far. Remember, this is a 2-lap race. As he works his way through the player section now, going into the FXR corner. Coming down, and we'll see the white flag. Heads it down around the Arctic Cat corner now, down the long straightaway into that Skidoo corner on this white flag lap. Up through the Ziegler section now, working his way, has quite a good space now between himself and second as he goes around the CBS Sports Corner into the U.S. Air Force 90-degree corner and works his way down the hill. Gavin Brault, Crookston, Minnesota. Works his way around the Fox Shock. Coming through the player section for the last time in this heat race. Around the FXR corner, looking for that checkered flag. And will get it. Your winner of this heat is the number 100X, Gavin Brault. Second place right now, but under extreme pressure, is the 111 of Sammy Sheldon. Can he hang on? Yes, he will. Third place will be the number 40. Holcomb, 407, that's Jackson Holcomb. That's your top three. We are going to go, and away they go. Remember, top 5 transfer. Everybody got through the Skidoo corner nice and clean. Leader takes them up the hill through the CBS Sports Corner. And it looks like right now this is the 411 ride of Gavin Oldefelt. This is your last chance qualifier for the transition age 9 to 13 class. Like I say, the top 5 will transfer, the others will race again. And it's so important to make it into that top 5, and there's only 2 laps to do it. So the pressure is on. The white flag is already out, and Oldefelt is holding him off so far as he takes the group down to the Skidoo corner, working his way nice and clean up through the Ziegler Cat section. He's getting all he can get out of that Arctic Cat. And these transition sleds, like I said, they're restricted so that they can't use the full power. And as they get older, of course, they loosen up the restrictions and they go faster. And he looks like he's going plenty fast to me as he takes her down through the Ram truck section into the Fox Shock corner. Hopefully he keeps her upright the whole way and he'll have himself a good spot in the feature. And I'll try to give you the top 5 as they finish to let you know who transfers on. It looks like right now it will be the 411 of Gavin Oldefelt. He'll take the first spot. Second place is a 68 of Cole Johnston. Third is a 517 Jimmy Stanich. Then the 327 races now under starters orders, and they are on their way towards the Skidoo corner. Let's see if they get through clean, and they do. Side by side, heading up through the Ziegler Cat rhythm section. Remember, once again, top 5 transfer into the CBS Sports Corner. Dennis Kirk working her way towards the U.S. Air Force corner, down the hill into the Ram truck rhythm section. Some big air coming on the outside. Looks like it's the 369. That was Deacon Johnson pulling that one off as they head through the Polaris section now to the FXR corner. Rounding the corner, coming down, he'll be looking at the white flag already. Deegan doing a good job of airing it out and getting it in the right spot. Rounding the Arctic Cat corner, heading down the flat straightaway there, picking up some speed and momentum as he enters the Ski-Doo corner, working his way up the hill through the Ziegler Cat section up towards the CBS Sports. Remember to watch your listings, your directory. Look on isocracing.com and get the schedule for the CBS Sports channel for the Snocross racing throughout the winter. They do a fantastic job of putting on a show for you folks every week throughout the winter. So keep that in mind. As Deegan Johnson makes his way around the Fox Shaw corner now through the Polaris section into the FXR corner. Hopefully hangs on, he says, and I'm going to work my way right into that feature, which he does. The 369, Deacon Johnson will take the first place. Second place coming across is the 159, Colin Taggart. Third is the 130, says good, let's go. And he lets, the throttles are down, here we go. Sleds are basically the made by Arctic Cat. They're the same. So it puts so much of this effort into the drivers, the riders' hands. They're so equal as they work their way through the Ziegler section now up to the CBS Sports corner. You can see they're pretty bunched up, and that's because the sleds are even. And that makes for fantastic racing. You have to love it. And these kids put on a whale of a show for you. Leaders are now coming down through the Air Force section, the abbreviated section now, and we'll cut across to the FXR corner, heading down to look for the white flag already. And our leader so far, that's that 189, that's Noah Gillis. As he takes the group across, down the front straightaway, picking up some speed and momentum as they head their way to the Ski-Doo corner. And they'll be heading up the hill. Power on. Up the Ziegler Cat towards that CBS Sports Dennis Kirk corner. Working her way cleanly around that. Over the big jump back there. Here they come. A little bit of air. Through the Air Force section, now to the FX corner, looking for that checkered flag. Can he hang on? And he does, the number 189, that's Noah Gillis, followed by the 27, Aiden Beckman, the 116 of Wyatt Onstead, the number 7, Easton Kuhn, and fifth is the number 432, Trey Cohegos. That's your top 5. They are off. Hammer down, they say. Getting through that Ski-Doo corner nice and clean. They've done it all day long. I haven't seen an incident there yet today, which is fantastic as they work their way through the Ziegler Cat section. Our leader now bringing them up to the CBS Sports corner. That's Tavin Knutson around the U.S. Air Force corner down into the Ram truck rhythm section. Whoa, takes a nosedive there just about, regains it, and takes it around the Fox corner into the Polaris rhythm. With only a 2-lap race, like I say, one little mistake could take you out of it. Top 5 transfer coming down, taking that white flag, hanging on to her. That's the 722. That's Taven Knudsen. Yeah, looking great. Down the long straightaway, picking up some speed, trying to make a little more gap between himself and second place, which he's done a tremendous job of doing. Up through the Ziegler Cat section, into the CBS Sports corner one more time. Dennis Kirk gets some nice air down through the U.S. Air Force section once again. Hope you're all enjoying the broadcast today. This is your morning host, Rod Scorch. Hope you've had a fantastic holiday. Hope you're staying safe, staying well. As we come to the conclusion on this particular LCQ, going through the Polaris section, is our leader, Taven Knudsen, around the FXR corner, looking for that checkered flag, and he will get it. Your winner of the LCQ, Taven Knudsen, on that 722. Second place will be Easton Kuhn on that number 7. The number 404, Cody Morris. And just squeaking there, 101 and the 430 round out your top 5. That's Tyson Kyleman. For the 9 to 13, we just put everybody into the feature. The final of the day, and they're off, and away they go around the Skidoo corner. Nice and clean once again, working their way up the hill through the Ziegler Cat section. Around through the U.S. Air Force, down the hill into the Ram truck. Okay, this is our Woodies girls 9 to 13 class. Woodies is a fantastic family that has been into snowcross racing for a long time. Fantastic, and they take care of this class. They sponsor the 9 to 13 class. Glad to have them always on board. Super folks. Carissa Blessum led that first lap as she heads it up through the Ziegler Cat section, around the CBS Sports, down through the U.S. Air Force corner, giving herself a little space now between herself and second place, trying to make a little buffer there to relax. No, not relax, but just a little, that's better type of thing. You never know. And we give them a little more laps to, because it's a final. She works her way around the FXR corner now, coming down, completing lap number 2. It is still the number 7 of Carissa Blessum. She had your first pick also for this particular race. It's a 4-lap event. They work their way through once again up the hill towards the CBS Sports corner. Carissa having a beautiful run today. Going through a yellow flag section for a competitor. Works her way around that. And coming on down now to the Ram trucks. Around the corner, around the Fox, into the Polaris rhythm section, around the FXR corner, looking for that white flag. And we will have a podium for them at some point here. There's the 217 coming across. Okay, Carissa's still in control, going through the Ram truck section around the Fox Shock corner for the, hopefully the last time to take the win. Heading around the FXR corner, we'll keep an eye on her now as she's looking for these double checkers. And there it is. Carissa Blessum on that number 7 Arctic Cat takes the win. We are off. Away we go. What? Everybody got through clean, heading up to Ziegler. Backstretch around the CBS Sports. It looks like Owen Idy got the whole shot with that 251 Cat, leading them around the U.S. Air Force. Thanks. Okay, as we complete that lap, Owen Idy is coming through here to complete this, and then trying to get some space, you know, on that good-looking Arctic Cat. Followed behind him, 271. Worked their way around the Skidoo corner, up the Ziegler Cat rhythm section, up towards that CBS Sports corner. Around they go, coming into the Air Force section now. Down the hill. Into the Ram truck rhythm section. That's awesome. Okay. Still Owen Idy. Zach Miller and Jimmy Stanich, your top 3 so far. Completion of that lap is Owen Idy, with now Jimmy Stanich in second. Zach Miller in third. Okay, working their way around the CBS Sports corner once again into the U.S. Air Force. About a 3.5 second lead now for Idy as he's working his way down into the Ram truck rhythm section around that Fox Shock corner. Looks like everything's pretty well under control for him right now. As he gets that white flag, it is the still is the 251. Barring no problems. Stanich on that 517, holding on to that second place right now as Idy's leading them up the hill to the CBS Sports corner. Working their way through now and coming down into that Ram truck section. Hopefully he keeps everything in good shape. He's doing great so far. Stanich now putting a little pressure cutting that lead back that ID has. Will it be enough as they come down the home stretch to get the checkered flag? Let's see what happens. Here we go. Double checkers are out there. Owen ID on the 251 Arctic Cat. Jimmy Stanich on the 517. Third place coming across would be the 261. Next race on their way. Around the corner there, everything's clean up through the Ziegler section now. Big air coming through into the U.S. Air Force section. Passing being done. It's another junior class here. Number 4 leading them through as we go along here. All right, the Skidoo rider number 4 taking them through. Junior 14 final. Anthony Flipses, Stephen Max. Okay, working their way up now side by side. Going through the CBS corner now around the U.S. Air Force. Good race up front here. Number 4 is hanging on to it around the Fox corner. That is Josh Connolly coming down, leading the group through, number 113 in tow, Donovan Hegman. Pretty close race going on here for first and second as they work their way to the Skidoo corner now. And Josh, who had the number 1 pick, working his way up to Ziegler.
I can let the riders know, but I can almost guarantee you that no one's going to come back.
Okay, as we progress through this race, we've the decision has been made that we're going to run all our morning finals. Yeah. So we will progress our way through all these morning finals, and then we're going to give our crew a well-deserved lunch break. Come back and do some finals, or the podiums for these finals. So whatever you do, don't leave. Come back and watch the podiums after we have our lunch break, but we have a lot of racing still coming up. We have more finals coming, so don't leave us, whatever you do. Hagman's still leading it. Got by Conley. They'll be coming down here shortly looking for the white flag. Whoa, we do have an off. Dominic Hagman kind of lost it on the Ram truck rhythm section. The machine went one way and he went the other, giving it back to the number 4 of Josh Conley as Josh works his way to the FXR corner. Dominic is fine and up and going and falls into second as the white flag comes out. Last lap, Junior 14-15 final. Group is now heading up the Ziegler Cat Hill. Our leader, Josh Conley, who had number 1 pick, bringing the group up with him around the CBS Sports corner. Big aired out triple into the Air Force corner, coming down to the Ram trucks. We've got the Skidoo tuned pretty doggone good here, it looks like. Around the Fox Shock corner. Now heading into the Polaris Rhythm section, hoping that he can hang on to it. And the checkers are coming. And it will be for the number 4. Josh Connolly wins this one. Second place is the 113, Dominic Hegman. And let's see who our third will be. Number 708, Thomas Levy. Okay. And away they go. What they look at, all the riders look at right next to the starter is a light. And when our starter flips on the green light, go. If you go before he flips on the green light, you get yourself a reserve position in the back row. Group went by clean. They're all into the CBS Sports corner, working their way through. Around the U.S. Air Force section, coming down the hill now into the Ram truck section. It's Tanner Johnson on that 313 Arctic Cat. He's had a good day today, taking him around the FXR corner, completing lap number 1. Good looking ride there. The number 450 right behind him. That's Kenny Goike. As Tanner puts the hammer down, takes him around the Skidoo corner now, up through the Ziegler section, working his way to the CBS Sports corner. Pretty good spacing now between himself and Kenny Goike. Brady Freeland in third. Now coming into the U.S. Air Force corner and will be coming down the hill into the Ram truck section. It is still Tanner Johnson on that Arctic Cat. Around that Fox Shock corner, now through the Polaris Rhythms. Around the FXR corner. Coming down to complete lap number 2. Kenny Goike still hanging on to second place. As they work their way around and up to the CBS Sports corner. You're looking for the white flag this next time coming around for our leader. So far, so good, they say. As our leader coming across, takes the white flag. That is Tanner Johnson. Works their way down the front straight into that Skidoo corner. Full power, now takes it up to the Ziegler Cat Rhythm section, heading up to the CBS Sports corner. Hopefully maintain all the controls. Get some nice air coming out of the Sports corner. Dennis Kirk, now we've taken her down to the Ram Trucks Rhythm section. And around the FXR corner for one last time, hopefully, and he's going to look for that checkered flag and the win. And here it comes, and he has it. Tanner Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. The 313. Brady Freeland picks up second. Medford, Minnesota brings us Noah Gillis on the 189 Arctic Cat. Grand Forks, North Dakota, that's Aiden Beckman on the 27 Arctic Cat. Wyatt Onstead on the 116 Cat out of Moorhead, Minnesota. Easton Kuhn on the number 7 Arctic Cat from West Bend, Wisconsin. And your 15th pick, Merrill, Wisconsin's Trey Kohigi on the number 432 Arctic Cat. That's our 200s online. Getting last minute instructions, getting them lined up under starters orders. And we'll be ready to run them. Here they go. And as they work their way into the Ski-Doo corner for the first time, nice and clean up through the Ziegler Cat rhythm section. Everybody's doing a great job. Hard racing side by side up to the CBS Sports Dennis Kirk corner. Some jostling of positions going as you see there. These kids are great. We're working our way now through the abbreviated U.S. Air Force section as they come around the FXR corner, and that is the 81X of Wesley Goncho. He did have your first pick, so he's having a great day as lap number 1 is being completed. Wesley now taking the group down to the Ski-Doo corner. And up through the Ziegler rhythm section, up towards the CBS Sports corner once again. Little bit of air coming off the corners there as they work their way through. Leaders are now working their way into the U.S. Air Force section, abbreviated, coming around the FXR for lap number 2 already. He's putting the mustard down. Comes your leader, the 81X. It is still Wesley Goncho. Has about a 6-second lead. He's stretching it out. Aiden Beckman, Easton Kuhn, those are your top 3 as they run. As Wesley takes them again up through the Ziegler Cat rhythm section. Working their way around through the Dennis Kirk corner, CBS Sports, through the U.S. Air Force section. Nice to have those folks with us once again, of course. Be looking for the white flag here pretty soon. It's a 4-lap race for these young folks also. Whoa, back and forth. Here we go. White flag is out one more time for Wesley. He says, oh, if I can just hang on. Through the Ski-Doo corner, taking them up to the Ziegler section for one last time in this particular final. Okay, everybody's received the white. Checkers are out. Will Wesley be able to hang on? Yes, he does. There's your winner, folks. Put your hand together. The number 81X from Bethlehem, Connecticut, Wesley Goncho, second place. Fun. It'll be really nice. So make sure you get back to see the interviews and the podiums. Still have a couple more finals to do. Junior 16s are off. Oh, and we have one down in the corner, but our leaders are leading the rest through the Ziegler Cat Rhythm section. Nice to have them folks on board. Caterpillar skid steers do a wonderful job with our operations crew all winter long, taking care of materials. And it looks like Chance Cheechin has gotten the hole shot. No stranger to the podium, that young man. As he takes it around the FXR corner to complete lap number 1 already. This is your junior 16 to 17. These guys aren't afraid to put the hammer down. Chance takes it around the Arctic Cat corner now and throttles her down all the way up to the Ski-Doo corner, takes the group around. A yellow flag incident on the track leads them around just fine. Up the Caterpillar section they go to the CBS Sports. Once again, make sure you tune to CBS Sports Channel to watch the Snocross races as the winter progresses. ISOCRacing.com to get your schedule for the TV times. It's great what they put together. They do nothing short of a phenomenal job of putting on a nice show for you folks at home. So make sure that you keep an eye on that. Coming around the FXR corner, completing lap number 2 already. It's still Chance Cheechin. Has himself just shy of a 3-second lead as they cross the line and working their way up to the Ziegler section now. Chance leading in the way. Nice looking gold-leafed Ski-Doo. Chance been around for a while. Still only 16, 17, but he's been racing for a number of years, come up through the ranks, and a very talented young man, as are so many of the others. The future, the pro riders are out there running right now. You bet. We are in good hands, believe me. Chance now taking it around the FX corner once again. He's going to be looking for that white flag. Takes a look behind to see how far the second place rider is. Takes the white flag. He's going to take him on one more circuit around. Hopefully hang on to it all the way. As they work their way up to the CBS Sports corner. Big air coming out of there into the U.S. Air Force. He wants to get this one done. He wants to win. Powers it down into the Ram truck rhythm section now around the Fox Racing Shocks corner to the Polaris rhythm one last time. He's hoping around the FXR corner, looking for the checkered flags, and he will get it. That's the number 500, Chance Cheechin. Second place, Dominic Hegman on the 113 Ski-Doo. Third place, the number 4 Ski-Doo of Josh Connolly. Those are your top 3. Next race is off. Transition 9 to 13. Remember, after this race, head towards the podiums. Give our crew their well-deserved lunch break, do some podiums. See who's got the hole shot already coming into the U.S. Air Force downhill section into the Ram truck section. That is the number 313, your first pick. That's Tanner Johnson. Right behind him is your 831 Ski-Doo ride. That's Brady Freeland. And then Cameron Cole. Let's see how they shake it out as they complete this first lap. Working their way up through the Ziegler section now. Into the CBS Sports Corner. Looks like Tanner has things pretty well in hand right now. Be looking at completing lap number 2. Getting good air, good control. Bring it around the Fox Racing Shocks corner. Around the FXR corner, coming down, completing lap number 2. It's still Tanner Johnson on that 313 Arctic Cat. And then it's Brady Freeland on the 831 and the 747 Cameron Cole. They work their way down the flat straight stretch. Tanner taking them up through the Ziegler rhythm section once again. Into the CBS Sports Corner. Now has a pretty decent lead. About a 3.5 second lead coming down into the Fox Racing Shocks corner. He'll be looking for that white flag this time. And the white flag is out for Tanner as he takes him around through the Arctic Cat corner now and heads it down to that stretch. Before I forget, I have to give a happy birthday wish to Gunnar Gadeen. Happy birthday, young man. May you have many more. Race progresses up through the Ziegler Cat section around the CBS Sports. Be coming down for the white flag lap this next time. Tanner now has stretched this lead, believe it or not, out to 6 seconds. He has this thing really dialed in, already into the Fox Racing Shock corner. Brady Freeland still hanging on to second. As the, it's the checkers. I missed the white. I apologize. Checkered flag, put your hands together, 313. Tanner Johnson. And there's Brady Freeland, put your hands together there. And Cameron Cole, third place, podium finisher. Kenny Goike, the number 450, will finish this one off in the 4th position. Race number 54, if you're following along, and they are off and going through the Ski-Doo corner, clean side by side, through the Ziegler portion and up to the CBS Sports corner already. Slicing and dicing for position as they work their way into the U.S. Air Force corner, down into the Ram Trucks rhythm section. Looks like so far it's Gavin Fleury with that Ski-Doo leading the way as he goes into the Polaris rhythm section. Around the FXR corner, heading down to complete lap number 1. Taking them around the Arctic Cat corner, down the flat straightaway where a lot of speed gets picked up, heading into the Ski-Doo corner. Gives them momentum through the Ziegler rhythm section up to the top of the hill. Some good air. Look at the air these young folks are getting as they round the U.S. Air Force. Thank you very much, U.S. Air Force, as always. Coming down into the Ram Truck section to the Fox Racing Shocks. Already looking for that white flag. We're whipping through them quickly. We have 104 races today. Welcome back this afternoon, everybody, on the live stream at home or from wherever you're at. grab a chair, grab a cold beverage, turn up the volume, unless you're tired of hearing me, and let's have a rock and roll time. You've got some tremendous racing coming here the rest of the day. We're running until almost 10 o'clock tonight, so boy, don't leave. It's just getting better and better as the day goes on. In other words, stick around. Our leader now has a 7-second lead heading down into the Ram truck section for the last time here around the Fox Racing Shocks. Running a 54.979 lap, which is very fast for this track. Very, very fast. Looking for that checkered flag. He says, the sooner I get to that flag, the sooner I can be done, and he will do it. That's the 413, Gavin Fleury, taking that heat win. And away they go around the Skidoo corner for the first time. Everybody's clean getting through. Heading up the Ziegler Rhythm section hill up to the Dennis Kirk CBS Sports Corner. Big Air jumping from third all the way to first is the 254. That's Kellen Chaperoon, no stranger to the air, and that's for sure. He's done a super job as he leads them down through the Polaris section and into the FXR corner to complete lap number 1 on takes the group around the Arctic Cat corner, trying to stretch out his lead the best he can as he now heads up into that Ziegler section. As you can see on the screen, coming into that CBS Sports Corner, you have a couple of options of an outside or an inside line. Most sleds do take the inside. And Big Air coming off the flyway there down into the U.S. Air Force corner and works his way down now into the Ram truck rhythm section. Around that, through the Polaris. Looking for that white flag. He's putting her down. He's running some good. He's got just about 3 seconds lead now on to second place, running a 54.232 lap, which is really putting her down there. They're moving. These folks are moving, and that's a tribute to our groomer operators who provide such a safe and fast track. These guys know how to get it done. Sleds are dialed in. Mechanics have done their homework. Fast. Controlled chaos, you could call it. As Kellen's bringing it around Fox. Race Shock corner. He's going to look for that checkered flag. He's almost 9 seconds lead. That's in 3 laps, folks. Telling me that this boy doesn't have a fire lit under that sled, boy. Looking for the checkered. Here it comes, and it will be Kellen Chaperoon on that 254 Skidoo, taking this heat race. Second place will be the 202 of Nicholas DeMuth, and then the 123 Trace Patterson. That's your top 3. Coming up next, another Sport Lite, heat number 4. Owen Falcon, the 280 Polaris, Palos Heights, Illinois. Little Silver, New Jersey, that's Chance Chichin. You've seen him today on that 500 Skidoo. Scott Dole on the 217 Polaris, West Bend, Wisconsin. Denison, Iowa brings us Colton Krajicek on the 153 Arctic Cat. Hawley, Minnesota, it's Caden Larson on the 124 Arctic Cat. Cambridge, Minnesota is Houston Becker on the 717 Polaris. Winter, Wisconsin, Connor Beazle on the 816 Skidoo. Nathan LaValle in the 102 Skidoo from Hermantown, Minnesota. And Cold Spring, Minnesota, Kirby TeBrake on the 340 Polaris. 9 sleds away they go into that first corner. Everything is clean. Once again, they know it's 3 laps. Any little incident that could cause them to flip could be the result of making it to the final or an LCQ. So clean racing is the order of the day, but fast. And last year's point leader is bringing them down into the Fox Racing shot corner, that number 153 of Colton Krajicek, wearing that number plate with the red backing as he completes lap number 1 on that Arctic Cat. Taking them around the Arctic Cat corner, down that fast straight stretch into the Skidoo corner. Running through there, under full control there, running up that Ziegler section to the CBS Sports. You can see the lead that he has put on himself into second. He's stretching it out, I guess you could say, on this 3-lap event. Takes it around the Fox shot corner into the Polaris rhythm section. Now heading up to the FXR corner, then down to the finish line, looking for that white flag, which signifies 1 lap remaining. Five-second lead Colton has on the group right now as he works his way around the Skidoo corner. Ran a 54.523, which is, again, like the other groups, right in there. Fast. Coming into the U.S. Air Force corner, down now into the Ram truck section. Less than a half a lap left to go in this heat race. Coming through the Polaris now rhythm section around the FXR. He'll be looking for that checkered flag. And winning this one, leading from start to finish, is the 153 Arctic Cat, Colton Krajicek. Coming home in second is the 717 of Houston Becker. And rounding out your top 3 is the 816 of Connor Beazle. All right, coming up next is one of my favorite classes. And that is our 120 champs. This is your little 120 sled, modified like you wouldn't believe. Kids are super racers. So fun to watch. Addison Boy on the 106 Polaris out of Elk River. Jackson Holcomb on the 407 Polaris out of Hugo. Easton Gessel on the 100 from Big Lake, Minnesota. Gage Bauer on the 255 from Rice, Minnesota. New Auburn, Wisconsin is Lincoln Scar on the 100S. Trent Peterson on the 28 Arctic Cat, 3 Lakes, Wisconsin. From Otsego, Matty Anderson on the 133 Arctic Cat. Cody Kranz on the 722 Polaris from Scandia, Minnesota. Now then, Minnesota brings us Avery Hemmer on the 415 Polaris. Owen Idy riding his 251 Cat from Cross Lake. And Bisbee, North Dakota brings us Taven Knutson on the 722. And there they go, the highly souped up, modified 120s. Not a whole lot on them to stock. If you get a chance, take a wander over and take a look at one of those sleds. They're a mechanic's, I don't want to call it nightmare sometime, depending who you talk to. But that little 4-stroke, I'll tell you, they're pounding out the horsepower that they can out of it. And the kids do a great job with them. Two heats of these young folks. They are running the abbreviated class. There's Avery Hemmer leading this one so far on that 415 Polaris, just down the road here and now then. taking the group over to the Skidoo corner and working their way up the Ziegler section. You notice that the seats are different. It's plastic skis and it's all different. Jack shafts, clutching, and it's all different when you lift the hood. Pipes. They love it. They have fun. White flag is coming out as they work their way through the U.S. Air Force. We have a yellow flag situation that they're working their way through. Coming down, it is now the 407 of Jackson Holcomb. And leading the pack. Oh, it's I'm sorry, we did it again. Checkered flag. I missed something somewhere. Well, what can I say? Jackson Holcomb, Tavin Knutson, and Owen Eide. How's that? Top three. All right. Heat number 2. Cody Morris on the 404 Polaris from Prior Lake, Minnesota. Isani, Minnesota's George Betker on the 618 Cat. Otsego, Minnesota's Lillehammer on the 005 Polaris. Jack Rogenkamp on the 901 Polaris from Stacy, Minnesota. Big Lake, Minnesota's Bryce Powers on the 812 Polaris. Mason Christian on the 427 Polaris from Albany, Minnesota. Blaine, Minnesota brings us Ryan Szymanski on the 195 Polaris. Zoe Peterson on the 317 Polaris from East Bethel. Nelsville, Wisconsin is Axel Krutsky on the 813 Polaris. And Trip Knutson on the 412 Polaris out of Bisbee, North Dakota. 10 sleds on the line, raring to go. This is our 120 class, heat number 2 of round 1. Race number 58 on the day. Getting everybody lined up, ready to go. And here they go. Here they go. Throttle down. Look at that side by side into that Skidoo corner. Who gets that hole shot? As they work their way up through that Ziegler Cat section. Side by side there in second, looks like going into that CBS Sports section there. Taking the abbreviated route through the U.S. Air Force section, down around the FXR corner, and coming down for the white flag. That's what they're doing, 2 laps. Okay, it's the number 404 of Cody Morris, followed by the 005 Lillehammer. As Cody takes them all down to the Skidoo corner, he says things are working well. I've only got about 3/4 of a lap to go. I want to hang on though. Make this thing work. Nice looking sleds. A lot of work and a lot of pride. Of course, Dad and Mom's money too, of course. Put into these to make them go fast. The kids do an awesome job with it. Checkered flag is out already for Cody Morris, who's going to win this one. And Lillehammer, second place. Rounding out your top 3 is the 195 of Ryan Szymanski. 812 Bryce Powers. And the 412 of Trip Knutson. That's your Zach Farmer, 407 Polaris. Eric Downs, 129 Polaris from Jordan. Mansalona, Michigan. Tyler Archambault in the 901 Polaris. Logan Fratellone, 318 Polaris from Stillwater. As we are already headed into the U.S. Air Force section on that black and white Skidoo. The number 368 looks like that's Hayden Meyer so far getting the whole shot. Taking the group through the Polaris rhythm section. Around that FXR corner, coming down to complete lap number 1. Good racing action always in the sport class. These guys are side by side. Take no prisoners. Look at them chasing down our leader. Running through that Ziegler Cat section up the hill to the CBS Sports corner. Big air coming down to the U.S. Air Force. As we have a good tussle going on, as you've seen there behind them. Trying to overtake them if they can. Meyer so far a lead, but the Eric Downs is right there. Is he going to make the pass? Side by side. Here we go through the player section. Can Eric do it? Watch and see what happens here. Meyer goes to the outside line, looks for that momentum speed. Completes the next lap, still in first place. Downs not giving up. Chases them down into that skidoo corner. Watch this one. We're going to go side by side here. Maybe not. Skidoo a little quicker coming out. Here comes Downs. He's going for the pass. Will he make it up at the top? Yes. Eric Downs, our new leader. Going into the U.S. Air Force corner. Sharp 90-degree down the hill into the Ram truck section. It's Eric Downs now on that Polaris, ahead of Meyer. Sport riders are constantly battling back and forth, swapping positions, putting the pedal to the metal, they say. As Down comes down, he's going to look for that white flag. There it is. He says, yay. And he's on his way, putting a little space now between himself and second place, going into that skidoo corner up to the Ziegler rhythm section, working his way up to the CBS Sports Dennis Kirk corner. Watch and see now if Downs gets some big air going into the UF Air Force. Yes, he does. Pulls it big. Meyer not giving up. Downs coming down now into the Ram truck section around the Fox Shock Racing corner. Right on clutching coming out of the corners. Around the FXR corner, hopefully for the last time here, looking at that checkered flag and takes it. Eric Downs will take this one with Hayden Meyer and Bo Tibbetts in tow. That's your top three. That was heat number 1 of 3. And here we go, 6 sleds, side by side, into that skidoo corner. Lug out. Sport riders, I think they take the brake handle, just throw it. Great hole shot for our first place rider up there. Big triple into the Air Force corner, coming down, being chased though. That is the 530. That's Eli Epling. What a great hole shot that young man had as he takes him through the Polaris rhythm section into the FXR corner. Coming down to complete lap number 1. Around the Arctic Cat corner, down the flat, straight stretch. Picking up tremendous speed, heading into that skidoo corner. And up the hill we go. The Ziegler Cat. Around the CBS Sports corner. Another big triple into the Air Force. Hard left-hand turn. Doubles down into the Ram truck rhythm section around the Fox Racing Shocks corner. These guys are ultra fast. Completing lap number 2. It's still Epling. He's got about 1 3/4 second lead on the second place. Ran a 54.391 second, which is, that's a sport rider. Pedal to the metal. Little, looks like a yellow flag situation up on top of the hill. We'll get those riders squared away. Anytime there's a yellow flag zone, you may not jump. You must stay under control. Otherwise, you can get DQ'd. Safety, number 1 priority. ISOC is number 1, safety. Epling, bringing them around through the players section. We'll be looking for that white flag coming up next. And does get it. Eli will take the gang through down the flat stretch into the skidoo corner once again. Hopefully hangs everything together. Still in the yellow flag zone. Watch now how you must slow down. Be cautious. Machine cannot leave the ground until he clears the zone. Does that very well. All our riders did a great job on that. But he still triples her coming out of the corner. That's the way we do it. Down into the Ram truck. Rhythm. Looking like he's got this one pretty much under control. As he's looking for that checkered flag. Hungry for that checkered. Here he comes. Can he hang on? From Swanville, Minnesota, Eli Epling. Second place on that 710 Adam Ashline. Drew Freeland down to that skidoo corner. Looks like we have a skidoo getting the whole shot. Heading up the hill, a blue skidoo behind him. The graphics packages are unreal what they're developing these days, and it's hard to almost tell one sled from another. But they sure look good. They take a lot of pride mechanically and looks. And why is that? To put on a show for you, the folks at home. Absolutely. And we hope you enjoy it. Stick with us. It's great out there. Okay, coming across on the first lap, there's your leader of the first lap. That's Kyle Kunstman. Taking the group down the straightaway. Boy, at a rapid speed. He's already built quite a gap. Already through the skidoo corner into the Ziegler rhythm section. Really has the pedal. You can see how much of a gap he's already put on as he goes through the CBS Sports corner. Now down into the U.S. Air Force section. Quite a gap he's put on. Sled looking good. Behind him, Kenny Maindrick on the 102. Coming down to complete lap number 2. That is still the 107, Kyle Kunstman. And the 144 of Emmerich Legionnaire. I believe that's how it's said. 2.2 seconds already. Emmerich making a pass to get up into that position. Now he's putting pressure on. Working his way, as you can see, coming into that Air Force section as Kyle brings them all down to the Ram truck rhythm section into the Fox Racing shot corner. Be looking for that white flag coming up next, 4-lap race. And once again, it is Kyle with the 144 of Emmerich behind him. Now that gap has been cut to just a tad over a second. So Emmerich putting pressure as we head up the Ziegler Cat section. See if Kyle can hang on to it. Coming into the Dennis Kirk CBS Sports corner. getting some triple air. Last lap, checkered flag will be coming out. Can Kyle hang on to it? Looks like he's doing well. Increased his gap when he got into that U.S. Air Force section. Now running down to the Polaris Rhythm section. We'll be heading into the FXR corner. Be coming down for the checkered flag. Here we go. And does take it. That's the 107, Kyle Kunzman. Emmerich on the 144, the 333, Evan Christian. Nice run for him. Kenny Maindrick, 4th place. And the 153 rounds out your top 5. Okay, Patterson from Libertyville, Illinois on the 823 Polaris. And away they go into that first corner. Everything is clean. I have not seen today a what I would call a bad wreck in that first corner. It is awesome. The guys and gals are giving each other room. They know that if they flip, the race could be over. So they're doing, the riders are doing an awesome job out there. They really are. They know it could be them. And that hole shot went to the 368 of Hayden Meyer as he's leading the group now into the Polaris Rhythm section to complete lap number 1 as he rounds the FXR corner up there. Remember that FXR clothing is number 1 by far. Being pressured a little bit by the 823 of Chase Patterson. Let's see if Chase can catch him as Hayden brings them all into that skidoo corner. There was about a 1.5 second gap between the two before. I think Chase is applying pressure now. He knows that the race is not what you call a huge number of laps, 4 laps only. So you have to get the job done. And also Hayden Meyer knows the same, that he better stretch it out, protect that lead. Absolutely. You heard it here. Hayden still leading the pack going into that Polaris. Oh, the second place took a little face fold. He's trying to apply that pressure like I was telling you about. Here he comes into the picture as Hayden takes that white flag. Can he hang on now? Patterson going to try one more time to apply the extreme pressure as the riders are now putting a little space between themselves. Working their way through the U.S. Air Force. Great partners to have at Snocross. They do so much. Hayden now brings it down to the Fox Shock Racing corner. Still holding on. Just a little bit left to go. And he will see that checkered. Checkered flag is out, and it will go to the 368 Hayden Meyer. Chase Peterson in the 823 second, and Nick DeMuth rounds out your top 3. Coming up next, heat number 2 of your Sport Lite. Race numbers nod. Each rider says, yep, I'm ready. Let's go. And here we go. Side by side into that first corner, making it through clean. Yes, they do once again. And they rocket up the back straightaway, the Ziegler Cat Rhythm section. Coming out of the CBS corner, looks like a skidoo with that hole shot. We'll see who that is very shortly. Under extreme pressure, though, right behind him is another red skidoo. Yellow skidoo, a gray skidoo. Here we go. That's Chaperon in second. Rockets himself around the outside of that Foxshaw corner, grabs that momentum and flies by to take over the lead. That was quite a shot there he did. That was the 254 right there. Kellen Chaperon already has put a 1.6 second gap. Can you believe that in that short distance? Now he leads the group up to Ziegler Cat. Gavin Fleur, who was, he says, not so fast. I'm going to try to catch you. Kellen does a nice triple there, coming into the U.S. Air Force, down the hill under the Ram truck section, maintaining that lead. We'll see what the gap is when he goes by, if he increases or not. Once again, goes to the outside like he did before to get that momentum built up as he flies through the Polaris rhythm section and around the FXR corner. Coming down for the white flag already. Ran a 55.320, and for the Sport Lite, he's flying. 3.3 second gap. That Sunoco gas must be really doing the job. Rounds the CBS Sports Corner, triples it down into the U.S. Air Force. Having a fantastic ride. Less than a lap. Goes to the outside one more time. Found that groove. Outside's working. Around the FXR corner, looking for that checkered flag that the beach ball has there for him. And here it comes. Our winner, the 254, Kellen Chaperon out of Edina, Minnesota. 413 to Gavin Fleury in second. Coming down for third, looks like the 119. Good ride for Pacey Zanzra, Connor Beazle, and Trace Patterson. Rounding out your top five. How's that? And the 331 Skidoo from Thunder Bay, Ontario. That's Connor Campbell. They all head into that number one corner once again. Good hole shot. Heading up the Ziegler rhythm into the CBS Sports Corner. Clutching and reaction. When that light turns green, the clutching is right, the traction is correct, and they just rocket themselves out there. And that is the 500. We know him, Chance Cheechin, no stranger to a checkered flag. They have that thing dialed. He's had a good weekend so far. Completing the first lap, it is that 500 of Chance Cheechin. Let's see if we get a lap time on him. Next time. As he leads the group around the Skidoo corner. We'll wait till they get a full lap. How's that sound? That was just lap number one. Partial. He is stretching out his lead, though, as he rounds the Air Force corner down into the Ram truck rhythm section. Into the Fox Shock corner. Chance having another great ride. Taking it over to the Fox FXR. There's that white flag once again. 56.323 is his lap time. Pretty doggone good, I would say. I wonder how long it would take me to go around the track. Come back tomorrow and I'll tell you. As he goes up to Ziegler Cat section. I think the groomer would beat me around. Oh, that's not true. Anyway, into the U.S. Air Force section. Down to the Ram trucks, around the Fox Shock racing corner. Takes the inside line, stabs it, trying to ride the tops of the rhythm section bumps as he goes around the FXR corner. And guess what's coming next? Checkered flag, number 500, Chance Teachton. Second place, there's Justin Blazovic on that 723 cat. And coming home in third will be the 331. That's Connor Campbell. That's your top three. All right. Heat number 4. Nathan LaValle in the 102 Skidoo, Hermantown, Minnesota. Grand Rapids, Minnesota will bring us Daniel Wallers in the 171 Polaris. Scott Dahl on the 217 Polaris, West Bend, Wisconsin. Jared Keys on the 209 Polaris, Cold Spring, Minnesota. Tanner Zierden on the 816 Arctic Cat from Elk River. Isaac Paulson on the 201 Arctic Cat, Greenfield. Josh Clark on the 237 from Elk River, Minnesota. Colton Krajicek on the 153 Cat out of Denison, Iowa. Holly, Minnesota will bring us the 124 Arctic Cat, Caden Larson. They are on the line waiting starters instructions. Coming up next will be our champ sleds, those 120 champs. Don't want to miss those high flying parts, burning, exhaust belching, highly modified 5-horse motors. Oh, they go. They are quick. The kids have a ball with them. That's what matters the most. Once the fun leaves the sport, that's the end of her. Okay, Colton Krajicek so far taking everybody to school, rounding the Fox Racing Shot corner already. Getting his rhythm through the Polaris whoop section there around the FXR corner, coming down to complete lap number 1. And that is the 153 with the red backing. Colton Krajicek having a great day. Takes everybody down the fast straightaway down to that Skidoo corner and up the Ziegler Cat rhythm section to the CBS Sports corner. Pulls the triple. Look at that thing go. Around the U.S. Air Force and down to the Ram truck. Looks like he has everything under control. Almost looks like he's out for a Sunday ride on Saturday, huh? Suspensions are so good compared to what they were years ago. Technology is unbelievable. You know, they're fuel injected sleds nowadays. You know, we're paying for it, but I'll tell you what, it's never been better. White flag comes out. He ran a 57.152. He's got a 4.87 gap to second place, so he's pretty much in control of this one. Remember now, next weekend, we are in Dubuque, Iowa for another national. So make sure you tune in once again. We'll be running roughly the same, somewhat the same show. So make sure you tune in also. We'll be looking forward to speaking with you. As Mr. Krajicek goes through the Polaris section again, looking for that checkered flag, rounding the FXR corner. Says, yes, I can see it, I can see it. Pin it. Takes the win. Colton Krajicek, the 153 Arctic Cat. Second place will be the 210 of Kyle Sand. And the third place ride coming down, that's the 102 Nathan LaValle. That's your top three. And we're off. Good deal. Kids that are having a great night. Heading straight for the Skidoo corner. Good hole shot by that one in first placer already. Looks like the might be Avery Hemmer on that Polaris ride, if my bifocals are steering me correctly. Good gap already heading up to that CBS Sports corner. Taking the abbreviated track, bypassing Some of the whoop sections going right through the U.S. Air Force around the FXR corner. 2-lap race. That is the 4:15. Leading them around, that's Avery Hemmer on that Polaris just down the road here. Pretty good sized gap built up already as we go through our last lap now. Good race going for second back there. We're going to watch Avery to make sure that nothing happens as they go around the CBS Sports now into the U.S. Air Force section. Around the bypass, around the FXR corner, looking for that checkered flag already. And it will be that 4:15. Polaris of Avery Hemmer. Second place coming across will be the 005. 4:15 Mason Christian, Gage Bauer. Okay. Next heat. Coming up, heat number 2 of our champs. Zoe Peterson on the 317 Polaris from East Bethel. Jack Rogenkamp on the 901 Polaris out of Stacy, Minnesota. Neilsville, Wisconsin brings us Axel Krutschke on the 813 Polaris. Jackson Holcomb on the 407 Polaris from Hugo. Cross Lake is 090 on that 251 Cat. Ryan Szymanski on the 195 Polaris from Blaine. Three Lakes, Wisconsin, Trenton Peterson on the 28 Cat. Easton Gessel from Big Lake, Minnesota on the number 100. Trip Knudsen on the 412 Polaris from Bisbee, North Dakota. And Cody Morris on the 404 Polaris, Prior Lake, Minnesota. Okay. Under starter's order, he's looking at each one saying, okay, folks, here we go. Uh-oh. One kind of crept, and that can happen. They rev up the engine just a little bit to get it at the engagement point, and if their hand isn't quite on the brake, it leaps ahead. Then you get that personal invitation to go to the back row because you tried to jump the start. Makes it fair for everybody. Okay, the starter says, let's try it again. And uh-oh. One more doing it. Told you, these folks, they want to race, and they want to race hard. They are antsy to get going, and sometimes the hand slips off the brake, or they get just a little bit too antsy, and it jumps ahead. We'll get her going. All right, we'll try it again. Starter's looking at him. Everybody okay? There we go. And here they come. Good hole shots going side by side going into that skidoo corner. Momentum built up coming from the outside, heading up that Ziegler Cat Rhythm section. Heading up the hill to the CBS Sports corner. Nice gap already on our leader. See how he fares coming through the Air Force section, now going through that bypass, coming around the FXR corner. And already we'll be looking at that white flag. And here he comes. Whoa, a little bit sideways, keeps it under control. That's the 404 right there. That's Cody Morris. Executing a big lead now, heading down the smooth stretch down to the skidoo corner. Up the hill through the Ziegler section, up to the Dennis Kirk CBS Sports. Over the big jump, down to the U.S. Air Force section on the bypass. And already we'll be looking at a checkered flag. Here he comes. Checkered flag goes to the 404. That's Cody Morris. Takes this one quite handily. The 251, Owen Eide, and the 28, Trenton Peterson rounds out your top 3. That's your 120 champ heat number 2. Heat number 3 on the docket. Ryan Szymanski, the 195 players from Blaine. Addison Boyan, the 106 players out of Elk River. Taven Knudsen out of set from Annandale. Alpine, Wyoming's Taven Woody on the 873 Arctic Cat. Alexis Lind on the 376 Cat out of Antioch, Illinois. And Madeline Anderson on the number 93 Skidoo. And away we go, folks. Side by side, it looks like Megan got the jump. Madeline falls into second. And I think Taven's in third, I think, if my bifocals are steering me. Megan jumps out to an early lead. Megan, of course, last year's points champion. No stranger at all to the podium. Rides at Skidoo, does a very good job. Very pleasant person to talk with, as they all are. They're all my girlfriends. Yeah. As they work their way through their players' rhythm section now around the FXR corner. This is your pro women. Like our pro guys, these are the pro girls, and they are fast. It is still Megan now taking them to school, a big lead already as she rounds into the Skidoo corner and heads up the Ziegler rhythm section towards the CBS Sports corner. You can see we're second, third coming up the hill now. Pretty good gap between them. Maylene and Taven, second, third respectively. As Megan now comes down into the Ram truck section around the Fox Racing Shock corner. Heading into the rhythm section, the Polaris round the FXR corner. 4-lap race. This completes lap number 2. The sky is starting to darken. Must be evening time, huh? Pretty soon the lights will be up and we'll be into nighttime evening show. Whatever your plans were for tonight, cancel them. You're staying right in front of your TV, computer, whatever you have. You're staying with us. Megan now takes it around the U.S. Air Force. Down into the Ram truck section, running a best time so far of a 59.205. Pretty darn good. Into the Polaris rhythm section now. It will be hitting around the FXR corner, looking for that white flag, and there it is. Displayed for the silver colored Skidoo. How's that? That's all right, or is it gray? Beautiful wrap. And up the hill she goes, the Ziegler section. Coming to us, the CBS Sports. Make sure now, talking about CBS Sports, keep your eyes glued on the ISOC webpage. And keep up with the racing that will be televised. The folks here, our camera crew and our whole production crew, puts on a tremendous show every week. So make sure you're there to watch it. As we are heading to the checkered flag area around the FXR corner for the last time in this particular heat race, checkered flag is out once again. Megan Brodeur will take first place. Yes, she will. Second is Maylene Anderson. Third place, Taven Woody. Rounds out your top 3. Second heat of pro women, race number 71. Sierra Beckerleg, number 168, Arctic Cat out of Elk River. Anita, North Dakota, Kaylee Blessum on the 254 Arctic Cat. Addison Bordage is the 330 Skidoo out of Rosemont, Minnesota. Boyne City, Michigan, and Anna Hauger on the 331 Polaris. McKaylee Meyerhofer on the 890 Arctic Cat, Waterford, Wisconsin. McKenna Kleiman on the 199 Skidoo from Duluth. And Tasha Lang on that 214 Polaris. 7 sleds. Pro women. To put on a show for you at home. And they are off. Side by side going into that Skidoo corner. Good looking wrap on the sled that got the hole shot. Heading up the hill. Round in the CBS Sports corner. Into the U.S. Air Force. Down the hill. This is a close race. All right, around the Fox Racing Shot corner, you can see second hot pursuit there. See what happens. Looks like Tasha Lang there, if my bifocals are correct. We'll see when she comes by. Side by side coming down for the completion of that first lap. Can she hang on? That's Tasha Lang in the 890 of McKaylee Meyerhofer. Let's see what happens as they drag race down that backstretch into that Skidoo corner. It's still Lang. Now trying to stretch a little bit out if she can, and is heading up to that Dennis Kirk CBS Sports corner. Airs it out, going into the U.S. Air Force section. See if she can hang on. And does, coming down to the Ram truck. Makes it around the Fox Racing Shot corner okay. Powers her way now into the Polaris rhythm section to complete lap number 2. And it is still the 214. That's Tasha Lang. She only had a 2/10, but now she's able to stretch it out on that smoother stretch, apply the power to it, work up a little momentum there, and carrying her into that Skidoo corner and trying to carry it all the way up the hill now to the CBS Sports corner and see if she can maintain the gap, which is so important. All right, airing it out, coming down to the Ram truck rhythm section. Around the Fox shock. Great shocks. Into the Polaris rhythm again. She'll be looking for that white flag. Getting some pressure now. Let's maybe coming into your picture on the FXR corner. There it is. So this last lap will be interesting if Tasha can hang on to it now. Getting immense pressure from Inanna Hauger. Inanna now is going to pull up alongside, put the power down. Who's going to be coming out of that Skidoo corner? Looks like Tasha able to hang on as they head up the Ziegler Hill towards the CBS Sports corner. Tasha still on the power. Hanging in there into the U.S. Air Force section. This is the last lap now. Okay, watch coming to the Ram truck. Whoa, a little bobble. It was able to hang on to it, but brought the 331 ride of Inanna Hauger a little bit closer again. Almost bumper to bumper. Last lap coming in here. Okay, now we're going around the FXR corner for the last time on this particular heat race. Can Tasha hang on? Goes to the outside, grabs the momentum, and will grab that checker flag. Tasha Lang on that 214 Polaris over the 331 and Anna Hauger. Wow. Now there was a race. Okay, let us continue on. We're going to go back now to the sport class. Like I told you before, hang on to your armchairs. Those guys are quick.
Hey, Rod, how are you?
Well, Paul, good to see you. My voice is even happier to see you.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
am on my 72nd race today. My voice is still hanging on. And we have heat number 1 of round 2 just starting. In that race is Evan Christian, the 333 Polaris out of Findlay, North Dakota. Kellen Chaperoon on the 254 Skidoo from Edina. Emmerich Legionnaire on the 144 Skidoo from Clear Lake. Brian Peterson on the 112 Skidoo, Fox Lake. Eric Downs won the last heat on the 129 Polaris from Jordan. Colton Krajicek on the 153 Arctic Cat out of Denison. Zach Farmer on the 407 Polaris. And Kenny Mandrick, 102 Polaris, Niebing, Ontario. And right now it looks like it's the 144. And that's Emmerich leading the way on this first lap.
Yeah.
Paul,
Emmerich.
it's been an exciting day.
Yeah,
Every point counts. I've been talking about that all day. Every point counts, every pass, everywhere you finish. It all adds up. They know what happened last year when we had to cut our season short. They're going to build up as many points as they possibly can right now as our leader goes up the Ziegler Cat section.
Yeah, we got a little battle for second and third shaping up as well between Peterson and Mandrick as they come to the end of that Ziegler Cat section and up into the Kirk corner here. They're only separated by a couple of sled lengths as we watch the rest of the field cycle their way through that 90-degree turn to the left that leads to the U.S. Air Force flyaway. And back up front, Emmerich kind of laying the field to waste here.
He is. He's already got a gap already.
Yeah.
He's putting the hammer down on that blue Skidoo. You know, I've noticed, Paul, boy, the graphics. Everybody has different colors, and look at there, blue, on the Skidoo, 144 there, as he takes the white flag. Boy, they're beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful and fast. Emmerich was fast yesterday, but then had a mechanical issue, I believe, in last night's FXR Sport Final.
Okay.
A couple of guys here that did well yesterday, not doing so well in this qualifier. Colton Krajicek won a qualifier earlier today, if I believe, running in 4th here. And Evan Christian and Zach Downs further back in the field in 5th and 7th.
Correct. Yeah, Eric won a heat today. But boy, I tell you what, the blue Skidoo there of Emmerich, I think he's gone ahead and left. Wow, he has it put together. 9-second on the last lap difference. And here's coming for that checker flag. It will be the number 144, Emmerich Legionnaire. He will win that one. Second place coming across. Situated right now. You better get it all set and grab a hold of your armrest. I mean, look what's going on. Look at this sport class. Look at them going into that Skidoo corner. Just hammer down.
3 wide. And look at the pass on the outside.
Yes.
That's a power move with authority going on right there. It looked like that might have been Kyle Kuntzman on the 107, the Skidoo, jumping out to the advantages. They'll head over the U.S. Air Force flyaway.
It's not over. He has company, though, coming down that U.S. Air Force section. Down into that Ram truck. It is the 107.
Wow, talk about being smooth. Kyle just eased through that Ram truck's rhythm section with no issues whatsoever.
Out for a Sunday ride on a Saturday. Getting pressure, though, from Ashline. Ashline's been running good. So let's see how those two can put this together. This first lap complete. We'll see if Adam can apply a little pressure here on this heat race.
Adam races in the Pro Lite category on the Eastern Snocross Tour, one of our ice hockey regional circuits. Getting some seat time here and coming out as, unfortunately, ESXT with COVID restrictions has not been able to have a race yet this season. So he and Alyssa making the trip out here to be a part of this Elk River Snowcross National here this weekend.
Well, we're sure glad to see our contingency from the East Coast come out here. I know I've been reading through when I introduce. There's quite a few this year here from the East Coast, and I'll tell you what, just fantastic to see them be able to make the trip out here and participate with us. Doggone it, that's awesome. In the state of the country that we're in right now with the COVID, doggone it, it's awesome. Just awesome.
Oh, it's awesome to just be here and be able to actually race as we get the white flag for Kunzman here with Ashline still rolling along in second. And give a call out to Hayden Meyer on his skidoo in third, holding off Eli Epling, who you mentioned won a heat in round number 1.
Earlier, yes, he did. And it's 2 seconds difference between first and second.
Eli just honked the chrome horn at the Hayden in front of him. Literally gave him a bump in the snow flap coming off the skidoo corner.
Oh, sure. These sport riders, they just don't have the fear. They know how to put on a show. Around the Fox Racing shot corner, it is still Kunstman. He has led this from the start, and he is eyeing up that checkered flag as he goes around the FXR corner for the last time. Nails the throttle coming down, takes a look, says yay. He will take the heat race. Second place will go to Adam Ashline. And third, close by, that's Hayden Meyer. That's your top 3 in the sport class. Coming up next, heat number 3 of our sport riders. Logan Fratellone on the 318 players from Stillwater, Harrison Township, Michigan. That's Jacob Knotts on the 808 players. Grady Johnson, 536 players from Big Lake. Tyler Archambault on the 901 players from Barcelona, Michigan. Jake Bodwell on the 509. Josh Shepard on the 217 Skidoo from Michigan. Ty Conderoga is Gavin Fleury on the 413 Skidoo. And Isaac Polson on the 201 Arctic Cat. Greenfield, Minnesota. I didn't get a count today, Paul, on how many actual registrations we have, but I know it's up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's definitely up. There's no question. With our contingency here from the East Coast, that's just awesome. They want to race.
We were talking about that this morning, trying to remember the last time we had over 100 races scheduled on a single day. It's been a while.
Yep, so. 104 today.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope they stay with us and follow us down to Iowa next week.
Yep, we go back to the fairgrounds in Dubuque for the Tyson Snocross National.
Yep. Yeah. I didn't make it there last year, Paul. I was in Yellowstone riding.
Yes. I know, because I had to pick up your slack.
Well, thank you.
I'm kidding.
And you did an awesome job of it, too. I know you did without even being there. They are off into that first corner once again, side by side.
Nice
Who's going to get that whole shot?
Yeah, that's Boutwell on the 509
yes,
that came out of the middle there, but he's going to get challenged
he's
here.
Getting pushed hard.
Yeah. It is so hard because you're coming off that flat on the start where you're flat out, you blast off the skidoo corner, and then all of a sudden you're in a long rhythm section, and it's so difficult to time your throttle response on that first jump, because if you don't get that first jump right, it just throws you off for the entire section.
Exactly. Brakes, braking, clutching, reaction.
Battle for second here, and we almost had a coming together.
About. But they would have been 2 Polaris though, so.
Yeah, right. Top 3 staying
Pushing
tight.
Hard. Top 3 tight. Coming down first lap. That's Boutwell on that skidoo. Grady Johnson, Tyler Archambault. But boy, Boutwell is just stretching it out. They sure get a lot of speed on that straightaway, don't they? They rocket out of that Arctic Cat corner and just flat out right on down. Wonder how many extra sets of brake pads they have.
Well, last night, and you'll be able to see this later on this evening too, once we get down to full nightfall and under the lights, you will see the brakes on some of these sleds glowing.
Oh, the rotors just glow red. Yep.
Yeah, and we were talking about that last night. You would think it's like, well, do you really need to use the brake? Well, yeah, you do, because brake and throttle is what helps level your sled in the air. If you get too nose high, you're riding that rear brake to keep the nose down, and then if the nose drops and you want to pull the nose up, you got to throttle up. So.
Plus, if you let off and coast into a corner, you will get passed.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard on, hard off. Hard and just rock it on and rock it off. Yep.
Or as I believe the phrase is, brap on, brap off.
There you go.
There you go.
Jake is still out there. He's going through that Ziegler section now, working his way up to the CBS Sports corner. Doing a great job out there, holding him off.
Yeah, landed the triple off the U.S. Air Force flyaway as well. There was one rider that we're going to see coming up in Pro Light in just a little bit, Nick Lorenz. I was watching him in practice. He was actually nailing 2 triples a lap. He was tripling off the U.S. Air Force flyaway, and then he was tripling into the Ram Trucks rhythm section. I don't know if the jump is going to be solid enough for him to do it here in actual competitive mode, but it was fun to watch him doing it in practice.
Like I've said all day long, don't leave your chair. There's that checkered flag. Jake Baltwell's going to take it. Grady Johnson, Tyler Archambault. That's your top 3. And that will take care of the sport class for round number 2. Coming up next are the guys I like to tease because I'm older than all of them anyway. The old man's class, the Geritol class.
Yeah,
the Pro-Am Plus 30. These guys are athletes, though.
I don't prefer to call them old. I just call them well-seasoned.
There you go. Jacob Blanchard on the 132 Arctic Cat out of Garfield, Minnesota. Greg Weaver on the 78 Arctic Cat, Battle Creek, Michigan.
We're ready for a start.
Here we are.
And it looks like Steve Martin getting a good launch there. He's on the blue Skidoo, and he is going to jump out to the advantage as they hit the Skidoo corner.
He will. Yeah, he's taken off too, Paul. Look at the gap already going up the hill there to the CBS Sports corner. Big triple air coming out of off the jump there. Like I said, these guys, I can tease them because I'm older than all of them, but they are pure athletes. Trust me, they are good. They're just over 30 years old.
There's a reason why they're out there and we're up here.
Exactly. That is a fact.
Some great overhead camera shots here from our drone team. This is new if you're watching our live stream for this year. And, man, we were getting all sorts of great comments about it. And kudos to our airborne or drone team here for giving us some outstanding views of the action here at Elk River.
Had a chance to talk with him last night. And he's from Texas. And he finished 21st in the world drone racing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
So
now,
we can call him an expert. He knows exactly what's going on. And look at the shots. That is just fantastic of our first place rider there.
Yeah, we're
coming down to the into the Ram truck section there.
Yeah,
that is just phenomenal.
And it shows you the different lines that are available too, like around that Fox Shocks corner where you can go inside or outside. And you can see here, too, the Polaris rhythm section. That's probably the easiest section to maintain rhythm while you're on course. And then you go down the staircase here, coming to the AMSOIL finish line jump, and then back down across that Arctic Cat turn here past the start straight.
You know, they had an interview earlier on during a break with Lincoln Lemieux on his win last night, commenting on the drone. And he said it was so cool to be able to see what's going on behind him.
Yes.
Yeah, that was really neat. As we are on the white flag lap here, it's still Steve Martin.
Yeah, Blanchin is second, Engel third, Keel fourth, and looks like Barony back in the 5th spot. But yeah, Martin's cruised out to about a 3-second advantage here, running for the Thien Motorsports crew, who have beefed up their ranks this year.
Isn't that nice to see, though?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, with the troubling times that we're in, to be able to still come out and do what you love to do. Fantastic. And here comes the checkered flag. And that will be for Martin. Let it wire to wire. 132 of Blanchin for second. Third place is somewhere. That's the kind of gap those guys race to. It looks like the 447